Hi, before I show you the video of our cabin on P&O Arcadia, I would just want to give you a little bit of information that you might find useful, particularly first-time cruisers. First off, it's not like going to an airport when you go to a seaport. At an airport, they take your suitcases away from you as you check in. At a seaport, they take your suitcases away from you before you check in. So make sure you have your documents on your person, in your handbag or in hand luggage, or however you want to do it. Now, the documents you need to board is your passport. Now, even if you're going on a cruise around the UK, you still need your passport. Secondly, you need your boarding passes. Now, these boarding passes will have your name on, but it will also have your time of boarding. Now, I've been lucky enough on only one occasion to get an early boarding, and if you get there too early, on some of the cruise lines they will let you on. Some they will make you wait until near enough your boarding time. You will be called when you can go on. It also has the latest time you can board. Don't be later than that, because you could have a problem. One of the other things that you will need is proof of your insurance, and make sure it has cruise cover on it. Now, most of the time you're not asked for it when you check in, but they do a spot check now and then, and we did get asked on one of our cruises for proof of insurance. You will also need your luggage labels attached to your suitcases, because this tells the crew where to take your suitcase for you. Now, I print it off at home on A4 piece of paper, and that actually has an instruction on it as to how to fold it and how to attach it to your suitcase. I attach it with a stapler, but you can attach it with sellotape. You will need this so that they can tell you which place to go to leave your luggage for the crew to put it on board. When you've checked in, you then go through security, which is very similar to airport security, and your luggage goes through. We've never had a problem. You don't have to take liquids out of your cases. You don't have to take your mobile phones or Kindles or electronic reader out. You do have to take out your laptop and put it in a separate tray, but that's the only electronic thing that they say. But you shouldn't wear jewellery because it sets the thing off, and belts and things like that have to be taken off. With P&O, your key card will be in an envelope outside of your cabin. Some of the cruises have a slot that you have to put your key card into to get power and electricity. Some you don't. But you always have to take that key card out with you wherever you go. This key card, it lets the crew know whether you have a drinks package or not. It's also used for buying anything on board. Now, that could be drinks from the bars, could be items from the shops, it could be the specialty restaurants, it could be excursions, anything that requires a payment, you need your card. The other thing you need it for is to get off the ship and back on again in port. You also need it, and this is very important, when you get off the ship, when you disembark at the end of your cruise. You cannot get off the ship without it. so please do not leave it in your cabin. We had several people do that on our last cruise in front of us. They held everybody up. Although they were taken to one side, there was that hold up whilst they argued with the crew member. Not a good idea. Here we are on deck 8, which is also Australia deck on P&O ship Arcadia. This is our deluxe balcony cabin. But don't get excited, all of the balcony cabins are called deluxe. It's a key card that goes in the slot, and you come in. On the back of the door are the instructions for your muster station and the life jacket. It's also got a peephole, but it's too high for me, I can't see out of it. The lights and power are automatic, you don't have to put your key card in. We don't know what this is, and we're not touching it because we don't know what it is. Light switches. This is what you put in the key slot on the outside of the door when you leave in the morning, and it's either I'm resting if you don't want to be disturbed, or make up my cabin. So on your right hand side is the ensuite. Watch your step. It always says watch your step because every cruise ship has a step up. In here you have quite a large mirror, glasses for tooth implements. The air freshener is mine. I always bring an air freshener because all the bathrooms are inside, so there's no window to open. You've got 3 shelves behind a mirrored door, again useful. Quite a large sink, toilet roll, spare toilet roll, shelf underneath, tissues. The toothbrush charger does fit in there, and the lead that we have for ours will reach all the way down to the shelf. This towel rail tends not to get used. You've got 2 bath sheets up the top and 2 hand towels. They do face flannels, you need to ask for it. Now in here is the shower in a bath. Handrails, the flannels are mine, I always bring my own. Shampoos I bring my own, even though they do have freebies. It's an adjustable shower, and there is your usual washing line, although we haven't used it on this one because we're on a winter cruise, so no swimwear. They do have an indoor pool if you feel brave. Also, the door will latch back, and it's quite a tough latch. The head towel and the bathrobe you don't get normally in this cabin, I've been told. Now you have plenty of wardrobe space with quite tough magnets. So you've got a shelf at the top, a short hanging space with a shelf, and shoes we put underneath. This one is shelf at the top and a long hanging space, and a mirror, full-length mirror on that one. Problem is that when you've got the wardrobe doors open, you're blocking the light, so it's dark inside. So your life jackets are on the top of this one, shelving and a big space underneath. But it's a very diddy safe. My hand isn't very big and it's almost covered it. From there we come to the main bedroom part. Comfortable beds. You've got 2 drawers on the bedside tables, one each side. These lights for reading by do swivel like that, so depends how you want them. There's a hook there. Your air conditioner heating is just a little wheel, and as we're in Norway in December, it's cold, so we turn the heating up during the day and turn it down at night. TV's not a bad size, but it's not interactive. If you want to look up how much you've spent or book a table or anything like that, you've got to do it on the app on your phone. So I have the other bedside table, the chair. Mirrors behind the bed give the impression of it being bigger, but it's not actually very wide. Walking through there, I duck down so I don't hit myself on the TV. These curtains either side are just for decor because they do not close. Nothing here, but the suitcases do not fit under the bed, so we've put them there. Another hook this side. You've got a dressing table of sorts with a mirror on the side, a light on the side of the mirror. This is a cupboard. They've got their own hairdryer in there, but you can fit very little in that one. There are PowerPoints only on this area behind the desk here, so you've got only 1 British, you've got 1 European, and you've got 3 American. Tea and coffee and biscuits in here. And in this one you have a fridge. All the drink in there is ours. You are allowed to bring drink on board P&O, but as it changes you need to look on the website to see what you're allowed, but they don't load it anymore. Loads of information here. We moved these over here because we were in a storm and the glasses, we thought they might break. These are binoculars, but we can't really use them because the rubber is perishing and they're sticky. And the other thing you get to read is a world atlas. On this side they've put the box for change of bedding because they can't get it under the bed, so I put it there. You've got a 2-seater settee and a nice sized table, but it's not a bed settee. In other YouTube videos we saw cupboards above the settee. There are none here. According to our cabin steward, that's because this cabin is only for 2 people. Those cupboards are only in the cabins that are meant for 3 or 4 people. Now the balcony is amazing. It's an old-fashioned door that you have to push, which is extremely heavy, but it's huge. So we've got all this space. Got 2 recliner chairs, a table and a footstool. Not that we've used it much because of the weather, and as you can see we're here in the depths of winter. This is Narvik. All in all, the cabin is nice-ish. But because we're here in the winter and we've got loads of winter jumpers and things, there is not enough shelving to fit it all on. So we've squashed things in as best we can. That's it for the cabin. Do not take the labels off of your suitcases on a P&O cruise. These labels are also used for disembarking, so that they know where to put the suitcases for you to find them after you get off the ship. Now, there is no restriction whatsoever on the weight of your suitcases, apart from they mustn't be over 23 kilograms. But you can take as many suitcases as you like, unless you fly a cruise, in which case you have to obey the airline's restrictions. Now, those suitcases, if you want to disembark early and do it all by yourself, that's okay. But you have to take them off without any help, apart from your own friends and family. And you are not allowed to take off one at a time and come back on the ship. It's all of them at the same time. Other than that, the crew will take your suitcases off. You have to leave them outside your cabin the night before disembarkation. Now, you will get a leaflet explaining everything you have to do, what times you have to leave them out, about 2 days before the end of your cruise. Please read these. On the last morning, you're going to want to take, obviously, your toiletries off and any other bits and pieces like clothes you wore the night before if you're putting clean clothes on, etc. So you will need some sort of hand luggage in order to do that if you're letting the crew take your suitcases off the night before. We were never told this on our first cruise. We ended up taking everything off in plastic bags. It was very embarrassing. So I always take a small wheelie suitcase, and my husband takes an actual bag, and we get everything in there, all the cameras, all the electronics, valuables, all that sort of thing we take off ourselves in our own luggage. I think I've now covered everything. Probably not. I always seem to manage to forget something. But if you've got any questions, just message me and I'll answer them as best I can. Hope this video has been useful to you, and I hope you've enjoyed the view of the cabin. Thank you.